Good morning, America. This is your USA Morning News Update for Thursday, January 29th, 2026. I'm your anchor, delivering the day's key developments in a calm and measured way. We begin with the weather, where the aftermath of a major winter storm continues to challenge much of the country, even as forecasters watch for potential new systems. The expansive winter storm that moved across large portions of the nation earlier this week has left significant impacts. Heavy snow, sleet, and damaging ice affected areas from the south through the Midwest and into the Northeast. In the southern states, particularly Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana, thick ice brought down power lines and trees, leading to widespread outages and hazardous conditions that persist in many communities. Northern regions, including parts of the Ohio Valley and New England, dealt with substantial snowfall accumulations, while Arctic cold has settled in behind the system, pushing temperatures well below normal even in southern areas. This prolonged cold snap is creating risks for exposed pipes, vulnerable residents, and ongoing recovery efforts. Meteorologists note that while the main storm has passed, another potential low-pressure system could develop along the East Coast over the weekend, possibly bringing additional snow or ice to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Residents in affected areas should continue monitoring updates closely. These conditions are still creating notable challenges for travel and safety. Major airports in the Northeast and Midwest have experienced lingering delays and cancellations as crews work through de-icing and runway clearing. Highways remain slippery in places with residual ice or snow, contributing to accidents and slower response times for emergency services. In the South, where ice was heaviest, some roads stayed treacherous even as melting begins. Authorities urge caution. If travel is necessary, use vehicles equipped for winter conditions, carry supplies like blankets and chargers, and avoid unnecessary outings. Emergency responders report elevated calls related to weather incidents, including slips, vehicle issues, and power-related problems. Turning to markets and business, Wall Street showed mixed but mostly stable performance yesterday following the Federal Reserve's decision to hold interest rates steady. Officials cited solid economic expansion and balanced labor conditions, with no strong signals on near-term cuts. The S&P 500 ended nearly flat after briefly reaching a new high. The Dow saw minimal movement, and the Nasdaq edged slightly higher, supported by strength in semiconductors. Big tech earnings reports drew attention with varied reactions. Some companies showed robust results in AI-related areas, while others faced scrutiny over spending. In corporate news, ongoing restructuring efforts at firms like Amazon continue to make headlines, reflecting broader industry shifts toward efficiency. Here are our major USA headlines this morning. First, in Washington, the Senate is preparing key votes on government funding bills, including those covering the Department of Homeland Security, as a potential shutdown deadline approaches. Discussions are complicated by recent events and partisan divides. In Minneapolis, 2 Border Patrol agents involved in the fatal shooting of Alex Peretti during a traffic stop have been placed on administrative leave. The incident, captured on body cameras now under review, has intensified calls for changes in federal immigration enforcement practices and sparked protests in the area. Representative Ilhan Omar was assaulted at a town hall in her Minneapolis district when an individual attempted to spray her with an unknown substance.
She was unharmed, and the suspect was arrested, but the event has heightened concerns about safety for elected officials amid rising political tensions. Recovery from the recent winter storm presses on, with reports of dozens of weather-related deaths and hundreds of thousands still without power in hard-hit southern states. Emergency declarations remain active to support aid distribution. The Treasury Department continues rolling out Trump accounts, providing financial contributions to eligible children as part of family-focused policies tied to the nation's upcoming anniversary celebrations. In business developments, major companies are announcing workforce adjustments, including operational role reductions and facility closures at firms like UPS as part of cost control measures in a changing economic landscape. On viral and trending stories across the U.S., social platforms are filled with images and accounts from the storm's impact. Snow-covered neighborhoods, ice-laden trees, and communities coming together for mutual aid. Many share appreciation for first responders and neighbors helping with essentials. Political discussions trend heavily around the Minneapolis incidents and immigration enforcement, with users expressing divided views, some supporting stricter policies, others calling for accountability and reform. Reactions to President Trump's comments on various issues, including currency and foreign policy, also circulate widely, often sparking debates and memes. Internationally, President Trump has escalated rhetoric toward Iran, stating that a large U.S. naval presence, including an aircraft carrier strike group, is moving into the region with readiness for action if needed. He urged Tehran to negotiate on its nuclear program, warning that further delays could lead to stronger measures. Iran has rejected talks under pressure and signaled potential retaliation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio testified on Capitol Hill about progress with Venezuela's new leadership following recent U.S. actions there, while noting ongoing regional dynamics. Broader global concerns include continued tensions in the Middle East and questions about stability in other areas. That wraps our USA Morning News for today. Stay informed, stay safe amid the cold, and we'll have more updates throughout the morning.